Madini Mazimba, Sprout Zimbo here, back again with a new review. So a couple of weeks back, I attended the Soko festival. Now after this festival, I was so hyped about local hip hop. Then when I came back, I started looking for albums which I can do reviews on. Then I remembered that I've a couple of months back, a lot of people giving a lot of props to Sharky for his Soko Matemai album. Then I thought, let me give that album a listen. Now the first time I ever heard the Sharky song was Ndere Mahara, which came out more than 2 years back. Now this was a nice track, but it did not really leave a lasting memory on me. Now then earlier this year, I bumped onto his track titled Zoka, featuring Crimson Blue. Now this is a fantastic track. The instrumental on this track is just superb. The guitar work is out of this world. I love the guitar work. I love the traditional feel this track has. It's just amazing. It's one of my favorite instrumentals on the whole album. Now on this track, Sharky is talking to those people who have left their families in Zimbabwe, not going outside for greener pasture, going outside, kuti vanoshanda for a better future for their families, kuti vakwanise kuvaka musha, vakwanise improve the lives of their families. And he's saying, kana maende ikoko, don't forget why you went there, because some of them they forget to maybe vakasiya mukadzi nevana, or they left a husband and kids, vakutombeta joy and they forget everything. Apa vanhu vari kumba vakatotarisira kune that person, which that's the person that's going to create better fortunes for the family. And also a lot of kids are being sent to universities all over the world outside Zimbabwe. And Sharky is just urging them, kana maende ikoko, ita zvamunofanira kuita, don't get involved in a lot of scandals, because vanhu vari kumba, they are looking, their parents vakatomirira kuti you are going to be the person who's going to be the breadwinner, who's going to lead the family from now on uchenda mberi. So just urging kuti kana maende ikoko, do what you're supposed to do, then modzoka kumba and help build your family and make a better future for the whole family. So it's another fantastic track, and I'm a big fan of this track. Now on this album, Sharky covered a lot of themes. Now one of the major things that you pick up when listening to this album is that Sharky has this burning desire to succeed, this burning desire to make it, to create a legacy for himself. There are a couple of tracks on this album really showcase, they really bring out the hunger that Sharky has. The title track, Soko Matemai, it's a fantastic track. I love the instrumental, this dreamy kind of instrumental. And Sharky is just saying, lead me on this journey of life. There are things that I want to do, there are things that I want to achieve. Lead me on this journey to achieve what I want to achieve. His performance on the track was amazing. Another track is Dreams. Now on this track, Sharky is saying, I have a lot of dreams that I want to achieve. And maybe right now, I may be answering calls for someone, or maybe filing papers, but that's not what I want to do. I want to achieve my dreams. So he's just saying, I'm going to work very hard for me to achieve my dreams. And this track also follows on the kind of dreamy kind of instrumental from Soko Matemai. Another track is Shungu. Now on this track, I love the traditional feel this track has. I love the way they structured the chorus on this track. And Sharky gets into this poet kind of mood, this type of rapping, like he's reciting a poem like Arutaura Detemba. I just love that style of rapping of his. Now on this track he's saying, in life there will be a lot of hardships, there will be a lot of setbacks. And Sharky is saying, all those times that you've overlooked me, all those times that you did not consider me, they gave me strength, for me to succeed. So it's one of those chances, you have to make use of what you have. Life is not going to be a bed of roses. There are going to be a lot of hindrances. But the thing is, those things must motivate you to really make it in the end. Now another track that also fits that description is the track Killing. Now I love the instrumental on this track. I love how they fused the reggae and hip hop on this track. Now it's also another fantastic track. Sharky's performance was on point. Now on this track is just saying, I'm in this game to win it. Everything, all this effort that I'm putting in is there because I want to win it. I want to make a killing in this industry. It's another lovely track. I enjoyed this track. Now the next track is Do I. Now on this track, Sharky is saying, I want to create a legacy. I want to leave something. I'm not doing this rap game just for the fun of it, but I want to create a legacy. I want to create a future for myself and probably for my future family. So this is also another amazing track, and Sharky's performance was also on point on this track. Now we also went on a motivational tip with tracks such as Mshando. Now Mshando is on an Afrobeat tip. The intro is quite strange, but I got used to it. Now on this track, Sharky is just saying, he's just narrating all the challenges that he faces on a day-to-day basis as he's trying to make ends meet. And he's also urging people to know that we all have different types, skill sets, we all have different talents. Let's use the talents and skills that we have to create something for ourselves. It's a lovely track. Another track is Freedom. Now on this track, Sharky is saying, I've had enough of suffering in silence. Now I'm going to say it out. I want to be free. I want to be free to do what I want to do. Because you know what, in life, we are all limited by a number of things. So Sharky is saying, you know what, I've had enough of suffering. I don't want to suffer anymore. Now this track also has a nice instrumental. The bass line is heavy. In a way, it sounds a bit muffled. The guitar work on the track is just amazing. I love the guitar work. Now also Sharky tend to a more personal note with tracks such as yours truly. Now this is a very, very emotional track, and on this track is just narrating, but you know what, for someone who grew up without a father, he's just narrating all the challenges that he's faced in his life, all those things that he could not do because he did not have the support, the financial support that a father could bring. It's quite an emotional track. The instrumental is sounding nice. Now I think the only big downside about this track is that for most of the track, you know, the instrumental is sort of overpowering the vocals. You have to listen very, very attentively for you to really get what Sharky is saying. But in overall, it's quite a nice track. Another track is Taita Seigo. Now, on this track, Sharky is just crying out to the Lord. Why is there so much suffering? Why is there so much pain and anguish among the people these days? Looking at what's happening all around us, a lot of us have asked that question at one time in our lives. It's also another powerful track. The last track on that theme is Rusununguko. Now, Rusununguko Sharky is talking from a perspective of someone who has lost a loved one. Kuti, the pain, the challenges that you face, trying to get your life back to normal after losing someone is just hard. Trying to normalize things is just very hard. But if you listen to the track, you see at the end he's finding peace. In the fact that, you know what, the person that has left them is now gone to a place where there is no more pain and worries. And he also tackled some very social challenges. Now on the track, he's talking about the plight of orphans and street kids. But you know what, these kids, they all need your love, they need your support. You know what? And talking from a perspective for someone who grew up without a dad, he sort of relates with these people. He knows that they need the support of the majority of you Zimbos. For them to really have an opportunity to build a future for themselves is another very, very good track. The next track is Varumi. Now on this track, you know what? If you've been reading the newspapers, the news, you've been hearing a lot of the rising domestic violence cases. You know what? So Sharky is just shunning men who are doing such evil activities. Even those, the case of domestic violence, so Sharky is just shunning all of those activities, and even those guys who maybe he says, as a man, you need to stand up and own up to your actions. So it's really another powerful track. The last track on that theme is Vakadzi. Now this track is more like I just flipped the coin from Warume and is now talking about the plight, the challenges that a lot of women face in this society these days. Sometimes they end up resorting to going to avenues, you know what, prostitution, for them to make ends meet. For those that are in the marital home, you know what, they face a lot of challenges from the family. Maybe you don't have a kid, and they are putting a lot of pressure on you. You know what? So it's just highlighting the challenges that a lot of women face in today's society. But this is also another powerful track. But the only bad thing about this track is that the chorus is just very bad. I enjoyed the theme. The theme is on point. The song started very well until the chorus started. You know what? You could have done way better on the chorus. And the chorus is just bad. It just makes this track my least favorite track on this album. And up to now, I had no track that I did not like from all the other tracks. So I believe you would have done much better on the chorus. Now the last theme, I think it will not be an album without some turn-up tracks, you know, some party tracks. And the track Roangoma does just that. It's high energy, it's pumped. I love the beat, the instrumental, the drum and bass instrumental. Sharky gave an amazing performance on this track, you know what? It's one of those tracks that if he performs it, you guaranteed everyone's gonna go crazy. The crowd, the DJ, Sharky himself, it's just an amazing track. Another track is also Pakaipa. This is also another lovely track. And he went on a more on a self-praise tip, you know, just saying, you know what, I'm very good at what I do. Every time I go on a verse, I kill it. So it's also another lovely track. Now, so yeah, that's it for the Soko Matemai Deluxe Edition album. Now, overall, this is a very good album. I enjoyed listening to this album. The production is on point. The vocal performance of Sharky was solid throughout the whole album. And you know what? If it were not maybe for the chorus of Vakadzi, this would have been a pretty perfect album for me, or close to perfect album. It's just that good. There is no really outright song that I can say this is my favorite song. This album is a collection of some very, very good tracks, and I can just play it from the first track to the last track. I will not mind. So my overall Proud Zimbo rating for this album, it's an A. I give this album an A. It has achieved a score of 82%. I just enjoyed listening to this album. And you know what? Sharky may not be as popular as Japraise or Winky D, and because of that, his album will not get a massive airplay and massive rotation on radios, but that will not take away the master and the brilliance behind this album. It's a fantastic album. So I urge, go and listen to this album. So for those who have managed to listen to the album, tell me what you think about the album. For those Versatarians, I'll post the link below to where you can stream the album. Can our streamer come back and tell me what you think about this album? If you want to read the full track by track review of this album, click on the link above there. If you enjoyed this review, give me a thumbs up below. See you again next time.